Oh. Hi folks, welcome back to Three Barrow Farm. My name is Amy and today I'm going to be showing you how I maintain our no-dig gardens. As you can probably tell, or you will have known from previous videos, there are a lot of weeds and some grass coming into the garden, and that's because we didn't maintain the areas around our gardens and stop things from going to seed during summer and autumn. So this year I'm hoping to keep on top of it, but basically for maintaining the beds I use newspaper. We haven't had a morning cuddle this morning, obviously. Pop her on my lap, hopefully that'll settle her down. So I use newspaper to smother the weeds, and then I put manure or straw on top. I've used wood shavings as well, and we will be chopping a lot of wood, so I will be using that as well this year. Basically the straw and the wood shavings go on the pathways, and then the manure goes on the beds. Hello. Hi sweeties. Everyone's got very wet feet this morning and I'm getting sopping wet now. So you can get newspaper from pretty much any of your news agencies. They will have all the old newspapers piled up out the back. So just ask at your local newsagents and you can get big bundles like this. I could have taken 20 of these if I wanted to. They had a huge amount. I think they were expecting to sell a lot at the end of the Olympics, and ordered a whole heap. Right here I have my potatoes growing. They're coming up over the surface of the soil, and I want to put manure on top of them because I want to keep mounding that manure on top so they keep producing potatoes. And around the plants I'm going to be putting this newspaper, as well as through the pathways and into the other rows as well, just going around the plants that I'm growing at the moment. And this is kind of a little bit challenging when you're already growing vegetables and you have to go around them, but you just take your time. You don't have to do too much weeding because you're just going to be smothering. I'm going to be smothering all this grass and all the fennel plants that are coming up. I've just got so much seed in my soil from plants that went to seed in autumn, and yeah, I don't want them all to grow, so I'm just going to smother them. If they don't have any sunlight, they won't grow. So I'm going to put a decent amount of manure on, probably about an inch of manure, and then I'm going to pile the manure over the potatoes. And then I'm going to want to put a good inch of straw on the pathways. I'll see how I go. I've got 2 straw bales here, so let's see how we go with it. So I'm going to take off my hoops that I had my netting over. As you can see here, I've put some newspaper down over the soil when I put compost in this area, and so I want to overlap the newspaper underneath here because I don't want the grass to grow into the garden. And I go by a sort of 3 or 4 sheets open like this, and I just tuck it underneath. So I've got my potatoes here and I've got my radishes here. So yeah, we're taking about 3 or 4 pages, and we just keep following along. So I'm going to go this way in between the potato plants. You might want to fold your newspaper. Oh, I've got a massive clump of tomato seeds coming up here. Let me show you. Look at that clump of tomato seedlings coming up. So I'm finding tomato seedlings all over my garden at the moment, which tells me the soil is getting warmer. And yeah, I'm just gonna cast these aside, compost them, because I don't need that many. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to put the newspaper out, just being mindful of where the plants are. Now the good thing about using newspaper is that it will break down faster than cardboard, so just getting all this onion grass out as much as I can, because that won't go away. So yeah, eventually the newspaper will break down and the potato plants will take over the space, so we don't have to worry about the plants too much. If we cover them a little bit, that they're gonna push into the space where the newspaper is anyway. I've got one of the magazines, and the thing with this is you've got to remember it's got staples in it, so you might want to take the staples out. You've always got to check your pockets after a day of gardening for all the rubbish that you've put in your pockets. Alright, I have all of the newspaper I want to put down. So now I'm going to spread the manure. I'm just going to put a few piles around the radishes. I just want to place some manure around these radishes. Because I don't want to bury them like I do the potatoes. I'll come along and I'll put some soil over the potatoes, but these radishes, I just want to put a little bit of manure around them. You might want to wear gloves to do this if you really want to. I find wearing gloves in the garden is difficult. I like to feel the soil, and I will just scrub my hands well after handling this manure. Now you definitely want to do this job on a still day where there's no wind blowing the newspaper all around. But just in case you've been, a bit impatient like me in the past, I have done it on a windy-ish day, and I've just wet the newspaper, and that's kept it still. So the morning is a great time to do this, because in the morning it tends to be less windy than in the afternoon. Right, now I'm going to come along here and I'm going to pile up some manure on this side where the potatoes are. Okay, so now I'm coming to the pathway, and you might want to use a few more sheets of newspaper just to keep everything smothered, or you could use cardboard as well. So here are my mounds over the potatoes. So I need to pop some newspaper. Here's some more tomato seedlings. I need to pop some more newspaper down here, and I might put a few more pieces of newspaper along this section here, and then I'm going to put some straw down. Just pop a bit of manure along here just to show where the row is. Oh, this manure is just going to be so good for the garden. So I've purchased this cheap straw. There may be a few seeds in it, but I'm pretty sure it looks pretty good to me. One thing about getting a massive pile of manure and straw is trying to keep the dogs from climbing the manure and rolling in it. I'm going to try and attempt to take this off in biscuits. There's a dead mouse. Ugh. I'll throw that over there. The dogs will go over there. I don't particularly want them to eat a dead mouse, but it looks like it's just the skeleton left. Gross. So it's a bit high here, but as I put the newspaper out, I will smother it with some of that straw. And I'm just putting straw here because there's no drippers down this line. The drippers stop here. Now I've always sort of grown a few things here, but they've never done so well because I've had to hand water them. And hand watering just isn't the same as a dripper system, especially when you've got a garden that's in the elements like we do. And I'm just gonna put the rest of this on top of here. So then I can just take off more biscuits and put it on the garden. All right, well, I'm just going to continue on doing this. If you have any questions, please let me know below in the comments. I will show you how I start off my no-dig gardens very soon, but my aim at the moment is to maintain these beds that I've already got going, and then we will complete vegetable patch number 1, and through that completion we will show you how we start them off. You haven't found another mouse, have you? So I'm trying to remember to mention that I do have a link in the description in my video to buy me a coffee. My husband and I will put this money towards growing more trees here, so purchasing and growing more trees on our 42 acres. And like and subscribe is what I'm supposed to say. I really enjoy hearing from you all, and I'm really, really grateful for all your likes and subscriptions and shares as well. You guys have been sharing my videos a lot, and just watching my dogs jumping into the wheelbarrow with the other straw bale in there. They are so fascinated. That's what Jack Russells are bred for, right? They're bred to hunt the rats and mice, and they do a good job of that, I tell you what, they do. They have found a few. So I'm going to continue this journey of manure and straw in my garden. I'm very excited to have my big pile of manure here. Finally, it is really nice, beautiful golden stuff. I call this gold, pure gold, because it is just so good. I highly recommend getting cow manure over other manures. I do use our alpaca manure and some of our sheep manure too on the property, but it's hard to pick up when they're so free-ranged. Well, I will see you next time. Thank you, friends. Bye for now.